go. Hi guys.
What's up?
We're just gonna you wanna tell them?
Live streaming this, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just making a video. It was probably easier.
Well, it's fine. We'll just live stream it because it's easier because it records it for us.
Well, I guess, yeah, that's true. Guess we have to.
Okay.
How do we start?
Well, first we watched the first episode of She-Hulk, and we're going to be talking about our thoughts and our opinions of what we thought of the series and stuff with y'all. And we're curious of what you thought of it too.
Pretty much. So far, tonight's guest in this little micro bag is Candy Corn.
Candy corn, really?
Well, it's August. I guess it's getting down to the fall of leaves. I don't know what to call it, but I love candy corn, so she got it for me, son.
And you have snacks, so.
Bring me your snacks to eat.
And your cowboy hat in the background.
Yep.
Wait, I think. Yeah, okay, it's working. So I was just making sure that it stopped for a second.
Hmm.
And the cat's behind our computer, which is hilarious.
So, how do I go about this?
How do you want to go about it? Is a better question.
Well, we talked about the first episode for one.
I hated the opening just to start with. As far as I hate the guy that is the coworker already because he is so typical sexist, I guess. I don't know. He came across as that, and I don't like it.
I mean, they had to throw in some sort of dirty lawyer in order to pretty much motivate the other people and stuff like
It
that.
was so typical of like people just downplaying women already, and it was like, really, that's the opening they went with, was that just him downplaying that she could do it.
Pretty much.
Like,
I mean,
it was so basic.
that's kind of something that was like original to me. Why was it so original like that? Like the original thing and stuff is the first thing. I mean, I'm not being anything like stupidly against feminism and all that crap. What I'm saying is, whenever you start an opening scene with somebody's downplaying a woman and all that and stuff, it feels like, oh, so this is the route they're going. I mean, you already know it's a TV show, so you think it's better. You think, oh well, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be awesome. First thing they say, oh well, I don't know if you can do that, seeing as you're a woman. That's what it sounds like, and then it's like, oh, here we go again. Here comes the topic.
Here comes them portraying that like women can't do it because for whatever reason.
God, that train has been rolling for so long. This isn't the 60s anymore. We don't have those kind of black and white ads where women need to do this and women need to do that. We are not in the 60s anymore. You can give it
Not
up.
even in the 50s or anything. Like,
I mean,
it's like so weird.
Look how far things are come. Think of this about that though. She-Hulk. Okay, so the show talks of like the show
I know they had to
has
start off-
so many things though. Yeah, go ahead.
Like they had to start off somewhere, but why there?
It talks about like here's the thing too. Yeah, it goes that way, which is kind of like it gives you the little thought to your mind like, oh man. Think about this though. I mean, how am I gonna say this? Like we're in the age where transgender, all this other stuff comes out, people fighting for rights and beyond. And yet, this show wants to start out with, oh, let's go the whole feminist route. And I'm not saying, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I know the show was like
not
made
like we're anti-feminism or like anti-anything. We're just, it didn't feel like the direction that She-Hulk normally goes, like in the comics.
Yeah, I mean,
like it didn't feel comic enough. It felt more like realism.
Mm-hmm.
And like realism, I get that it's a realistic show with real actors and all that stuff, but I don't want realism from a comic series.
Pretty much.
That's brought to life with real people.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be a little gimmicky. I want it to be a little funny or like humorous. In this way, it just felt like the episode was just stiff, almost like too real. In that you couldn't relate to anything about it.
I don't know if you call it.
Like, I didn't feel grabbed by anything in particular by it.
Would it be called like gender fight or something? I don't know if that's.
I don't know if it's.
Thing that you.
I don't know what word to use for it, but it felt like nothing grabbed at me from the first episode so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nothing really drew me in, nothing made me care about the characters. Nothing made me like really attached to them from the get-go or anything. I didn't feel any connection to them whatsoever, and that just bothers me.
When the best part about your show is the fight scenes, then you don't have a real good start for a show to me.
Yeah, that was like the most entertaining part about the episode was like the fight scene between her and her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That felt the most real out of the whole episode.
Though, in all honesty and stuff, her controlling her powers before then what it felt like a little bit of
It felt rushed.
It was rushed. I get that. I mean, they're on a little bit of a 30-minute time schedule or something. I don't know. But either way, her controlling her powers was also kind of inside the you remember on the whole Hulk the animated series though, right?
Yeah.
Well, on there when she got transformed, she did control her powers better than the Hulk.
And right away?
Yeah, right away.
Okay.
But I don't understand like the whole reasoning behind it. The reasoning behind it, what they sound like they're saying is, oh, well, because she's used to all this and stuff, because she's a woman. What it feels like is they're playing that woman card. That's what's the sad part.
And also, they played up the part that she was Bruce's cousin when she wasn't mentioned in anything to begin with at all.
True.
They really threw that in there, just that little fact of like, oh, she's his cousin. Okay, she has a similar genetics. Okay, I can believe that part of it. But, like, they threw her in there out of left field. Like, where did she come from? Why is he never mentioned any of his family or any of the cousins or any of that stuff? Why didn't they build up that part of it a little bit?
True, the MCU.
They just kind of threw that in there.
They could have just mentioned that and all that. I mean, of course, I like the whole fact that she's not being a superhero and all that. But then again, it also feels like it's going to be one of those superhero things.
I feel like she's going to get forced to use that factor.
Like
she did in the first
episode. For God's sake.
Spoilers, sorry. But we won't spoil it further than that. But, like, we won't go into detail of how or anything. But we just feel like it was so frustrating because it was like, they played up the woman aspect of it so much. Like, they act like she was, like she was supposed to be, like, feeling oppressed or something, or she had something against men. Or like the whole episode kind of centered around the fact of like the differences between men and women, but it didn't do it in a good way. It did it in a negative way, which I understand if there's a problem or like someone is like, excuse me, cat, can you not steal my scrunchie? Thank you. Can you not?
I'd say, yeah.
But like you know what I mean? Like it just made it so much harder to relate to because it was like, well, at least if you're gonna set it up where she has a reason to dislike men or something, make it a stronger give a stronger reasoning than just I had a guy be an asshole for a day.
Yeah, one straight up guy being an a-hole and then just a narcissist and all that stuff.
Like at least show like some kind of history between them or like more detail to it or like more examples. Not just one insult.
They kind of rushed one thing. I don't remember her being an attorney in the actual cartoons and all that stuff. But
so she wasn't a lawyer yet?
I'm not even sure about that. But here's another thing they did. Like, think about the fact that they just automatically said, oh, well, she's worked so hard to become an attorney. And then she mentions that one part, she's worked so hard to become an attorney against all these guys and all them saying this and that.
But then they don't show any history. How is that believable?
Exactly. They didn't even show any flashbacks or nothing. That's just,
Maybe they're going to do it in a future episode because we haven't seen the second one yet. But so far, just from the first episode, it's frustrating. Mm-hmm. It's like just frustrated us because they like left out so many things they could have possibly included to make it seem more coherent or make more sense or at least be more similar to the comics.
Pretty much.
It's just, no.
Then again, they've always been pretty bad on that similarity program when it comes to movies and in general cartoons and comics and all that stuff.
They are kind of hard about it's hard to translate it from comics because comics are not supposed to be realistic. They're not supposed to work with like the physics or anything like that. Which I get, and the CGI was a whole other deal. because she doesn't look anything like her other form. At least Hulk, the original Hulk, looks similar to the actor
And he's like,
in Hulk form.
and he's
He at
aged
least
more.
looks like him.
He's more
Her
like
version of She-Hulk looks nothing like the other actor in her human form.
pretty much, which I never
That
really
bothers
did understand.
me.
That was weird.
That bothers me. She looks like she gets like beautified, Amazon did or whatever. She look like she gets like a makeover, and it's like, what the heck? At least make her look like a Hulk version of her.
Sometimes I
You
wonder.
know what I
though.
mean? That doesn't even look like the same actress.
It kind of feels like they're the MCU.
Like she doesn't even
It
have
feels
curly
like-
hair. She has like wavy straight hair.
It feels like Marvel's doing this and stuff to counter DC's Wonder Woman. You remember how that
Maybe.
movie went and stuff, and she was extremely superly empowered women, not saved by no man.
But they did it right.
They did it right. I admit that. Yes.
They did it without tearing down men, though.
Mm-hmm. That's something that I liked about that too. I mean, the Wonder Woman movie, they did it without tearing down men and also showing emotion behind it and stuff.
And they gave a good reason for it. They gave her more of a history and stuff, which compared to this one, they're just making her appear very shallow, and I don't
she's-
like it.
She's starting out hating men. That's the thing too.
I could deal
It's
with
like-
her hating men if she had a reason behind it.
Well, it annoys me because the fact is she had a reason behind it, but they didn't reveal it like flashback.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's no history to attach it to.
Exactly. She's just spouting out a bunch of history that this happened and that happened and this happened in her past, and that's why she hates men and stuff in like several ways and all that.
But they're not showing any of it, and that's the part that's aggravating so far.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At least for me. What do you think?
Well, honestly and stuff, yeah, they're not showing it, but
Let me see
still.
messing with.
Cats.
What's he messing with?
I don't know. As usual,
Of course, the cat interrupts. So like, get away from the wall.
we'll throw things.
Go. There's nothing there for you to play with. Go up the other side where all your toys are.
Yes, please go.
Instead,
lay
he lays
down.
on your shoes.
Whatever. Let's move on to talk about the power situation.
I could deal with the power situation, but that was like so basic.
Yeah, her being stronger than Hulk.
No, I meant more like how the blood
Oh, right.
transfer, the
right.
transfer of power from him to her was like so basic and
That
so
little
fast
Dinky little
that like,
thing.
what the heck?
It's like saying if
It's
somebody.
like if they got contaminated, does that mean anybody else who got contaminated would die from it?
That's kind of what they're throwing out whenever you saw the first episode and stuff and the way he did things.
But that makes no sense. That just
It's still like blood doesn't work.
so unless
that
you're
way.
related to him, it doesn't. It's yeah.
Blood doesn't work that way. I mean, it seems like it in some situations, but blood doesn't work that way. It's like being bit. That's what they did. Is just basically being bit by a zombie. You turned into a zombie. That way. That's the way they did it.
Yeah, but at least that would make more sense because of infection.
Yeah.
Infection spread. Blood doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like
don't
I could
remember.
understand if stuff would spread through the blood, but like there wasn't even an infection. There's no way an infection spread that fast from one little cut.
Exactly. I
Like
mean,
what? And then they claimed it was because of the gamma. Like really? From blood?
I'm not saying.
I don't know how they work, but that doesn't make sense.
But yeah. Either way,
It just seemed very improbable.
in Hulk cartoon, there was the whole blood transfusion thing when Doctor
Definitely
Doom did it to
sounded more sense.
Hulk,
But that made more sense.
more or less, and it was a cartoon. You kind of expect some crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, then they destroyed the blood too, which was crazy.
If they were trying to make it like think about this too. They were trying to make it more cartoonish. They should have went like saying she got her powers and stuff the same way, but they should have added some more characters or something like that in there, more specific or difficult way.
Or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But
it would have
with the-
made sense if it was like an
But here's the thing.
okay.
Think about this too. They also made it like well, the way they did it, they would have just humanizing it in a way and stuff, and they were trying to make it like, if I think
Simple.
about it, simple. That way they could skip over the whole long time story behind how she gets her powers.
Yeah.
But they also did it in such a simplistic way that it turned out to be just the most fakest way ever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm just thinking like, I mean, in the cartoons you can deal with this because like if it was done the same way and stuff like they did on the show inside the cartoons, then yeah, you can deal with it. It's kind of like the mutagen and stuff and how it affected the turtles and stuff. It got on them and they turned it to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But this is a different story. This is a show that wants to make you think, oh, this is real life and this is reality. And yet the way they make her get her powers is so unreal that it's just like wow.
That's true.
hmm That's pretty much on that. You had some more to say on that?
Nah, yeah.
Well, other than that, let's talk about the fight scene a little bit and stuff, and how she was developing her
Why
powers
was
more
she
stronger, and why was she more stronger? Yeah, there's another thing and stuff that I heard and stuff too. She was being very, very sarcastic about it, and saying he was basically being God, I forget the word. Whenever somebody's like very cocky and stuff,
Smug.
being very smug. But the Hulk has the right to be smug. I mean,
He has more experience.
Bruce Banner, yeah, has more experience, has been fighting, doing this and doing that. So you can expect him to be surprised when she suddenly does it like nothing. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
true.
like, wow, really? She does all that stuff like nothing. And of course, that's being surprised. That's not saying, oh, wow, you're a woman. I didn't expect you to be like that and stuff. That's nothing like that. It's him being actually surprised. I mean, he's the only freaking Hulk.
That's true.
So yeah, I get that too. And then
She
they're trying
just
to.
like,
Well, the way they played it off was so horrible, though. I mean, that was so horrible.
yeah, that's true.
The way they played it off was like, oh, she's a natural at this because she's Bruce Banner's cousin. Anyhow,
Sorry, I got distracted by the cat. She's
I'm
walking
sorry.
at her feet.
kind of talking too much, but go ahead.
You're fine.
I mean,
I'm
honestly,
listening mainly.
I mean that's just. It's like that's
It
what
bothered me because it was like, it just seemed fake, like too unreal. Like, how is she gonna control it that fast? Like, how is she controlling the amount of strength or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that? Like that part bothered me. Less so about her being stronger or weaker or whatever. I didn't mind that part. My part was the personal amount of control that she had right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way you're gonna control destroying things right off the bat.
Exactly. You can't pick up.
Like
a shot
nobody
glass or
is
something
gonna
that
just
hurt.
like
Bring you that
nobody's gonna do that right away.
Mhm.
That's just no. That would take at least a few weeks or something to get used to.
Exactly, or a day or something and stuff.
Or at least over time, it felt like they glossed over all that.
They really did gloss over it. It was pretty dumb, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
Sorry about my phone thingy.
I have no clue what to say about that. That's just like
It just made me upset.
It's like
I
if
was
you-
like, why?
It made me feel like if you fast forwarded like the whole part of that episode and stuff.
Like the whole montage.
Exactly, like you had a giant montage and stuff, and she figured out everything in less than a day.
That basically was what it was. It felt like it, didn't it?
Pretty much.
At least to me, it did. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Let's see. That's about the fact and stuff that she's been acting very, very smug too. So
Yeah,
And
and she
this
didn't even actually
character-
apologize.
exactly, this character can't be wrong. Which is
so
also
far.
kind of terrifying if you think about it, because that means like, what does that mean? I mean, I don't know if that's in every single person, but there are a couple of people, men and women, that are like that.
Yeah,
You
they
can't
don't
be
know
wrong,
hard.
so you'll say a half butt apology or something like that and stuff, and like, oh well, I wasn't wrong in my thoughts, but I guess you weren't right in it, so it still makes me not wrong.
That's true.
That made me like think, okay, wait, what? So you're saying you're not wrong for breaking stuff, but you're not right for doing stuff? That's also a very, very
That's just very fake to me.
that's fake, and that's very, very critical. That felt like a very critical
It
thing.
like it was dismissing the whole experience he went through, and then she made fun of his trauma,
Mm-hmm.
which was even worse because it was like he went through this, like he went
Exactly.
through everything you went through, just in more time, which is downplaying his experience which isn't fair when he went through it first.
They're downplaying it for comedy. That's the sad part too.
But that's just sad. You don't downplay trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not for comedic effect or something, unless, like, I get they're trying to make them so, like, they have a bond. But I don't feel attached to the cousin.
It made him
For
so
any
weak,
reason.
too.
I just feel annoyed with her the whole time I'm watching it.
It's kind of sad because they made him so weak in that. Like they made him so weak as like not as manly. Like,
I don't mind the not manly part. My problem is that they're trying to make him have a connection that's not there. Like, I feel no connection to that actress, to her acting, yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are you doing now? Don't make me get up. Get up and grab you.
Cat. What is he doing? Is he going under the bed? He ran.
As soon as I get up,
Of course he
I'm watching you.
ran away.
at any rate.
Okay.
Cat distraction. I think we should end it there.
Well, yeah, we probably should.
On that note, with cat distraction as he comes back to get pets.
Come here.
Come here, we're gonna show you real fast.
You are coming here. You want to be so active whenever we're around. You can stay right.
Bonus cat
I know.
content. He's gonna run now.
Go.
He knows he's in trouble.
You gotta say goodbye.
Say goodbye. They don't.
Say hi, Maddie. He's like, does not want to be on your lap.
You're fine, Shoo.
Now he's fine.
Now you're fine. Really?
It's just because I didn't stand up.
At any rate.
Anyway, our cat's a derp. He doesn't like laying on laps, but if we hold him when we're standing up, he's fine.
Well, yeah.
It's
It's
just
a
how he
long
is.
story.
We'll tell you about it another time.
Some other time.
See you later, guys. And that's what we thought about She-Hulk for today.
Yep.